Good evening, welcome along. It's match day 2 of the AFC Champions League Elite group stage. And in Doha, the Qatari champion Al Sadd welcome the Iranian side Esteghlal, who were the best performers in the Western group on match day 1 with a thumping victory over another Qatari side, Al Gharafa. That was a surprising result, really, given that Esteghlal's considerable struggles in the Iran Pro League this season. Means that they are 11th with just 1 win in 5 domestic games. Esteghlal missed out on the Iranian title last season, finishing a point behind their Tehran rivals Persepolis. They're back at this top level of the Asian game for the first time since 2020 and 2021. The home support, of course, behind Al Sadd, although there are a few Iranian flags dotted around the Jazim bin Hamad Stadium in Doha. Doesn't mean, well, some of them might have travelled with the team, but there is a considerable working population in Doha as well, who might be along supporting their side. Well, it's a new look for the AFC Champions League this season. There are 12 teams in both the West and the East groups. 8 qualified from each of those for a knockout phase. The group stage goes through until February. It picks up again with the knockouts from March, so not a big gap. You don't have the same fixtures as any other club. It's in 2 seeded pots. The draw is in 2 seeded pots to make it fair, but it's a cup competition, so luck will inevitably play a part in how you get on. Qatar is the 2nd highest ranked league in the West Asian group, and Iran is the 3rd, so it's effectively the same in terms of the regulations as to what they get. They're the 4th and 5th in Asia as a whole, meaning they get 2 clubs straight into the league phase and 1 that goes into the playoff phase. These clubs last met in 2018, a 2-legged tie quarter-final stage, and it was a draw in Doha, but Al Sadd on the away game 3-1 in Tehran. The home side are in the white shirts, and the torches, phones being waved in the early evening sky. It's quite a pleasant place and time to play football in the early 20s Celsius. It's 1,800 kilometers from Tehran to Doha, pretty much due south for all that it matters. There's no return game, so you play your 8 games against different sides unless you happen then to end up being drawn against each other later in the tournament, which of course could happen. And in these early stages, some rotation of squads in the summer, not massively, but we'll see, we learn as we go through more about the relative strengths of the 2 teams. But there is plenty of time to put it right in the extended formats. Al Sadd play Persepolis, the other Tehran team. They take on Al Hilal, Paktor, Al Ain have already played. Al Ahly, Al Nasser and Al Wasl. So they drew their first game. Al Sadd, that's Javed Nekunam, a great player with Iran, who's the coach of Esteghlal. Well, the Al Sadd and Esteghlal players wait inside the tunnel area. We have a Korean Republic team of match officials and VAR, should we need it, and you almost certainly do once it exists. Al Sadd have been knocked out of the group stage of the last 2 AFC Champions Leagues. They would be hoping, obviously, to do better. Al Sadd won 4-2 at the weekend in the Qatari Stars League against Al Gharafa, the same opponents that Esteghlal played in their first Champions League match. And they were coasting, really. They hammered 2 goals inside 7 minutes. They were 3-0 up inside 30, and then Al Gharafa nearly got back into it, took a late goal to wrap it up and make it comfortable again. It was close to a spectacular collapse from Al Sadd, whose form has been incredibly patchy this season so far. Champions, but so up and down. They've scored 5 in a victory, but also twice conceded 5 in defeat. So the players are ready, and we will have the new anthem. The Wolves are Al Sadd, the Blues are the visitors. The 2 coaches might be speaking English, might be speaking Spanish. They've both played in Spain. Felix Sanchez was born in Barcelona, came through at La Masia, but then it's been around the world. And Nakunam was a fine player in La Liga for a long time with Osasuna. We have the new Champions League anthem. Well, it's the big time. Al Sadd of Qatar welcoming the Iranian side, Esteghlal, who finished 2nd last season, only just missed out on the Iranian title this year, though. They're making an absolute mess at the start of their domestic campaign, a stark contrast to their performance on matchday 1 of the new elite phase of the Champions League. Quick look at the Al Sadd team first. 1 change from their first match day, 3 from their weekend win over Al Gharafa. And it's the experienced Roman Saiz who comes back in for Tarek. 7 foreigners, Guilherme, Otavio, 2 Brazilians, Mateus Uribe, 61 caps for Colombia. Rafa Mujica is their top scorer. And experience on the bench as well. Kim Jong-hyuk is the match referee. Afif takes the armband today for Al Sadd. It's the keeper Syed, who's the man with the armband for Esteghlal. On the Kunam, next 4 changes from the first victory against Al Gharafa. Mehrdad, Jalali, Arash and Salimi are the players who come in. 8 of the 11 are Iranians, 6 of those are internationals. Gustavo Blanco, the Argentine striker, got a head injury in a previous game. You'll see that he's still got a little bit of protection on that one. Mashiripov is from Uzbekistan, and Didier Ndong of Gabon. Felix Sanchez was appointed in July. He coached Qatar at the World Cup, so he's been around, he knows his job. Nakunam, 149 caps is an Iranian record. He had 7 years playing at the top of the Spanish game. It's his 4th managerial job. He also played for Iran in the World Cup as well. He scored 38 international goals from midfield. In the picture, he was a terrific, cultured midfield player. Javad Nakunam. Well, we have VAR if the referee should require. At the moment, we need someone to come and clean the pitch before we get underway, which the Al Sadd players are doing themselves. Not particularly helpful, but gives us all a few more seconds, a few opportunities to take a deep breath, get ready for this game. They'll both be happy with their start, obviously. Esteghlal with a storming 3-0 win in their first game, but Al Sadd, as Felix Sanchez put it beforehand, against Al Ain, who's a very good team, 1-1 draw away from home is a pretty good start. They conceded late after Akram Afif had given them the lead. That was a setback, but this is their home game now. An opportunity to start making their mark. It's a long group phase. There is always time to put things right, but getting those points on the board is crucial. Getting yourself into the knockout phase is the aim of the game. This stage of the competition, Esteghlal happy to go long. They'll certainly mix it up. Beaten by a late goal by Persepolis at the weekend. They're big rivals from Tehran, the side that just pipped them to the title last season. At the moment, Esteghlal nowhere near the title race as it's looked in the opening weeks of the season. This is a super start by Al Sadd, and the ball is crossed into the penalty area, and then Abul Fazl Jalili heads it away, the left back, and it comes out to Atal, a very attacking right back who they've signed recently, an Algerian. Is that still in play? The assistant referee says it was, and now very definitely isn't. Well, he went to, after he left the Qatar national job, he went to Ecuador, got them into the quarter-finals of the Copa America. They lost on penalties to Argentina. He's certain to get plenty more offers, Felix Sanchez, but he would like a Qatari League title, very much like the Asian Champions League title as well. Unsurprisingly, the home side enjoying plenty of possession in the early stages. Mohamed Kamara is a terrific player, only 24. He was very quickly closed down and fouled by Arash Rezavan. Kunam is now 44. Finished playing in 2016. They go back to Barsham. It's a decent bit of skill to work himself out of that situation, Atal, and it's a painful one. He rolled over. Nobody looked at the referee. The referee showed no interest. And Dom tidied up, and then Salimi goes back to the goalkeeper, who's Syed for Esteghlal. And again, the referee says, play on. Well, that's consistent. Which set the tone that he wants to let the challenges be made, the physicality of the game remain. Akram Afif, usually creative player, Qatar international, to take the corner. Whips it to the penalty spot, and it was brilliantly attacked. Real power on that, Guilherme. Just out of control. He made such an effort to get something on the end of it that it went flying over the top. Kuki, the experienced Qatar international, 113 caps to his name. There's Guilherme with the foul challenge on Merdad, one of the players who's come into the team today for Esteghlal. And Merdad again down that right side. Rolls into Mashari Bob, and it goes into the area looking for Blanco. Gustavo Blanco. Jalili. Fala switched over to the right side of the centre-back line. So moves back on the right side. Pretty sure they played with the back three for parts of the weekend game. They've worked this nicely. Esteghlal, it's into the penalty area again, and he just for a split second got himself a little bit of room, and then the header was disappointed. It was Ramin, it was the right back, or maybe right wing back, mistimed his header, having got into a really good position. Scored a famous goal in the World Cup against Wales for Iran. They've worked this nicely once more into the penalty area, but their dad just wrestled out of it by Paulo Otavio. Threat at both ends of the pitch so far. And Al-Sad building up from the back. I was about to say patiently, but they shifted it around quite quickly, and then Guilherme then played it back, ended up having to, or choosing to then go long. Arash Rezavand in that midfield, it was who gave it away. Stabbed forward by Kamara to Afif. And Mojica just gets himself a little bit of room, then some skill to come back, and it could break kindly. Uribe making the forward run there, the veteran. And Mojica looks around. Always these days players are hopeful that the VAR might spot something that the on-field officials didn't. A challenge that came in from Ruzbek just at the end. Ruzbek, who came back and made the challenge, who suffered the most. He was the other man who scored in the victory over Wales. He got what ultimately proved to be the winner. Fan culture involves the wearing of scarves, even when it's 20-odd degrees in the evening. He's struggling now. They're saying they don't want to lose a player. An experienced, quality defender. He got back in the nick of time. It was that way round, wasn't it? He was caught by Mojica. A little bit of treatment and a lot of cold spray. He's hobbling to the side. Looks like he wants to carry on. And he doesn't look ready for a chase with Mojica, for example. But the veteran defender is moving more freely now. Esteghlal, as I say, happy to mix it up and go long sometimes. Kamara to Afif, who will roam around. Got Otavio on the overlap. They tried to work it. There's nothing that Falak could do to prevent the ball going out for the corner. Corner for the champions of Qatar. Akram Afif whizzes it into the near post. Esteghlal on the break. Will be a threat. No flag raised by the assistant referee. Of course, we can come back and have a look from VAR. I think that's a goal kick. Yeah, roll back off the man who was down on the ground. Medad, there is a touch. Anyway, VAR won't get involved. If it could be a penalty, they will. But not over whether it's gone out for a goal kick or a corner. Kim Jong-hyuk gets us back underway again. It has been taken, and they're hoping to draw a high press from Esteghlal, which they then fairly comfortably play through, it must be said. Pedro Miguel. They work it again to Otavio, from a Wolfsburg player. It was a long time playing in the top division in Germany. Otavio again. Al Sadd on top in terms of possession. It's been a decent game, but we're waiting for proper clear chances to be created. Well, here's another promising break, and it's Mujica running in behind again. He looked offside. And indeed, the flag is raised. First bit was good. The break here just went too early. So close sometimes, isn't it? I thought with the naked eye he was a good distance offside. Jalili. And Ndong, one of the former English Premier League players on show, Didier Ndong. There's Roosback, who looks okay, doesn't he, after that early injury problem that he had. Masharipov. Ndong again, rolled across Abul Fazl Jalili. He tries to curl that cross in, and it's a good one as well. Gustavo Blanco got up, and so did Barshap, and he needed to. A terrific ball, given how far away from goal he was when he swung it in, and Blanco made good contact with it, and it had to be saved. Proper save from Michel Barshap. Jalili is forward again, hit the bar at the weekend at 0-0 against Persepolis. Another ball swung in from deep. Don't mind that as a tactic. That is not so smart. I mean, you've got to shoot sometimes, haven't you? But Barshap just simply strolling over to collect another ball. He wasn't this time, though. That's that curling cross. And a good header from Gustavo Blanco, was taking it away from the keeper. Kudam took the appearance record one more than Ali Daei. Ali Daei, of course, scored over 100 goals. It's great Iran teammate. Atal. Saiz. Goes forward looking for Mojica, and again quickly turns to the referee and demands a bit of something in his favour. Felix Sanchez brought with him quite a few Spanish coaches, a couple of fitness coaches as well. It's a good place to take your football coaching experience from, of course. Look at the game, runs very deep in Spain, still being built and developed. In Doha, fabulous facilities, world famous ones such as the Aspire Academy, where a number of all of the young players have spent some time. There's a spectacular cry from Pedro Miguel as he goes down, and the referee gives him no sympathy whatsoever. .98 caps for Qatar. Pedro Miguel, he was an under-21 for Cape Verde. I mean, he was caught. By Gustavo Blanco, but I'm not sure it was sure where the agony came from. Uzbek. Saman Fala. Back again to Fala. Again, the referee. It's been consistently no nonsense, the referee. Al-Sad carry on with Atal. Got that wrong. And Dong with the forward pass to Masharipov. Again with the Uzbeki attacking midfield player. Little dink over the top from Merdad. And it was quickly pressed by Ramin and it was successfully won back by Esteghlal. Fala to Uzbek. Sharipov to Ndong. Jalili. Mateus Uribe. Long way back to take that throw, and he got it back, it worked, and now he's floated across to the back post looking for Gustavo Blanco, but he couldn't do anything productive with it. Demands a bit better communication from his teammates. Pedro Miguel is again the outlet from right back. Just drives into the space. It's gone down again. Pedro Miguel, you might have heard the blood-curdling cry. Might as well let this ball run out of play. It literally was running out of play until Atal sprinted to keep it in, and it would be interesting to see whether Esteghlal would put it out of play. Why would they? In fact, they then make ground up the pitch, and the referee will now go back and see if Pedro Miguel is in quite the amount of agony as his body language suggests. It was a great run, drove into the space. I wonder if he's done a hamstring actually, because there's not much contact. Yeah, I wonder if it's that right hamstring, which would justify, would explain why. Oh yeah, explain why it was so painful. But he was miming that he feels his hamstring has snapped or torn, in which case he's not coming back onto the pitch for a good couple of months or something. So they're not coming back onto the pitch now, so they will have to prepare a change. Shame for him, obviously a terrific player with huge experience, but he has been influential in this game already. They've used him a lot as the outlet ball down that right side. Well, they don't know any more than we do. Here's the bad news. We lose Pedro Miguel. Let's hope it's not as serious as he indicated. It was a bizarre little period of play, wasn't it? Because I must confess, because there was no great contact, I wasn't sure that he was badly injured. His teammates played on. Literally could have put the ball out of play. So it's 11 against 10 for the time being. Esteghlal put that ball into the penalty area. The header from Fala took a deflection. Gustavo Blanco keeps it moving, swung in by Jalili. Best of balls, and Kamara can lead the breakaway, but it's his pass wrong as well. It's been ragged since play has resumed. Here's Mateus Uribe. Another man down. Another hamstring. Might be tactical. I don't know, but I hope it's tactical. It's another one, isn't it? It's Youssef Atal, the Algerian, is now holding his hamstring, and he's the other player down that right side. So it's quite a flexible formation where it's hard to really call whether they're wing backs or full backs. Kind of hybrid role really, because there are times they sort of drop in, both teams do it, sort of drop into a different formation to a back four when they're on the defensive. Well, I can see why he's not happy. There's a glum expression on the face of Felix Sanchez, the Al Sadd coach. And the medical buggy is back out again. Atal is back on his feet. For him, hopefully. No, is he coming off? Al Yazidi, he's another right back at Qatar International, so it's not as if they don't have a good player. How many subs do they need? Because the graphic there is saying that he's replaced Atal, but of course they've lost Pedro Miguel as well. So Abdullah Al Yazidi is on. So at the moment it looks like a back four. That's because one of those players has come shooting out of the back line. Kamara's touch around the corner. Oh, Tariq Salman is on. Who is a centre-back, if you like, if we still have centre-backs. 80 caps for Cato. Another one who went to Spain when he was a youngster. So that's Tariq. So I'm guessing that he is in Pedro Miguel's exact position, which in this situation looks like a right back, but then he tucks in much more narrowly when they're defending. And Atal and his replacement now, Al Yazidi, will then make up the extra defensive player. There's Saiz forward to Afif. Wins it back again, actually. Then into Mojica. He goes down. Referee again. It's not having it. Well, I wondered when he first made his harsh call in terms of ignoring what he considers to be exaggeration, whether he'd be consistent, but he certainly has been. Kim Jong-hyuk. Here's Camera. Saiz was at Besiktas before he joined Al Sadd, a long-term player in the English Premier League with Wolves. Kuki in the midfield, then was it back into the defensive line. So the best of touches from the sub, Al Yazidi. Ramin. There's a meaty challenge from Saiz. Hugely experienced Morocco international. Felix Sanchez desperate not to pick up any other injuries. Here's Merdad. Back to Ramin. Pass was just a little short. Mojica battling. This time he gets his free kick out of Roosbeck. Esteghlal will play Takor, Al Shorta, Al Hilal, Al Nasser. Another decent team in Al Rayyan and Exactly, of course. It's Champions League Elite level, isn't it? You're playing difficult games. Sort of the name of the game. Mohamed Kamara. Malian. And then Tarek to Al Yazidi, the two subs. On the right side. Pinged back to the goalkeeper, well dealt with by Syed. And there's a careless pass in midfield and an opportunity for Haddad to come forward, and this will be the first yellow card of the game for Mohamed Kamara for a cynical foul. Felt that he had to stop the attack and wasn't prepared to wait, so he just grabbed the shirt of his opponent. Half an hour played. Well, half an hour gone on the clock. A couple of stoppages. I mean that we'll get more than the 45. That's a long way from goal. Rami seems to be fancying his chances, and Sham is concerned enough that he's lining up the wall with great care. And he needs to get over to the other side, of course. Don't line up the wall, then stand behind it. And it's struck with good power from Rami. Always a tall order, though, to get the power and the accuracy from that kind of range. He's tried a few things. Nothing's quite worked perfectly for him so far. The home supporters would love him to have an influential game when they're not throwing paper onto the pitch. Here's Tarek. So Kamara short there. It's good work by the Malian to make sure that he emerged with the ball. We used to call the hospital pass. Here's Guilherme, the Brazilian. Afif. Savio was high and wide, the left back. They opt to retain possession. Guilherme to Tarek. Now they're attacking it, and there's no flag. Mahika is away, one-on-one with the goalkeeper off the post, and the chance is still there. And now the flag is raised, so the assistant waited and waited. Always potentially, this is the problem with the law as it stands, of course, is to, when you're using VAR, it's understandable to let it go, although he's a good distance offside. And the problem is this. So, players going for the ball. Full commitment. An honest collision between two players who are trying to win the ball, Salimi and Aribe. None of it would have counted. But for understandable reasons, assistant referees are told to keep their flags down if it's a close offside. What it can do, that though, is distort the game a little bit. Sometimes when the player runs offside, the assistant referee thinks maybe I'll keep the flag down because something might happen, and then what you end up with is a spell of possession, 5 minutes or so, which does change the course of the game. Now that was Cristo Gonzalez, another Spanish striker. They really don't want to make a third injury-enforced substitution. Nobody does, but is that a positive? Is that a thumbs up? I see a smile on the face of Felix Sanchez. No, that was that was optimistic, wasn't it? Well, the stadium is filling up nicely. Remember, he very proudly said that this looked like Old Trafford back in the day. I think it might not be such a proud boast these days. Much smaller. Of course, it holds just shy of 13,000. The thumbs up have been offered. Salimi is also fine. Here's Jalili. And Rash. Masharipov is roamed away from where he started the game. That did well. He's forced a corner out of Saiz. Nothing between the teams in the opening 35 minutes. Set pieces, obviously. Way of settling close games. 3 defenders up, all hovering on the edge of the penalty area. Not exactly overcommitting in the box. And it's a free header away. Nice try of Rafa Mujica to claim his throw-in. Las Palmas born, he was in the Barcelona academy, the famous La Masia. Went to Leeds and in the Bielsa days, but didn't break through. Esteghlal on the attack, but not now, because that ball was short. It's a sad breaking, and Afif running through the middle. Does have support. He waits and waits, and then he finds the crossfield pass, and then Al Yazidi runs out of room. And in the end, a very promising position turns into nothing but a goal kick. No attempt at goal in the end. First touch wasn't perfect. It's good defending, isn't it, from Didier Ndong? Let's put the positive slant on it. Midfield player spotting danger, coming back into his own penalty area. Medad. Couldn't get on the end of it, but the pressure was good. It forced Paulo Otavio to knock it out of play. Medad again comes back to Ndong. Masharipov. Ndong, good angle of pass. Broke the line and found Medad. He goes down, the referee. Oh, been well positioned for just about all of those close calls. He's Saiz again. Romain Saiss. High line has been breached again. Will he go into the penalty area? Goes past the last defender. Forces a good save from Said. The pace of the Spanish striker. Potentially deadly again there. But there are two defenders coming with him. Roosberg is the man who takes responsibility, but he can't really keep up, doesn't want to commit to a sliding challenge. And he's grateful that his goalkeeper was there. Akram Afif with another corner. The goalkeeper comes and claims it. It's ended up in the back of the net. Then it's a goal. It might be an own goal by Said. And it's a horrible moment for the goalkeeper, who had just made a terrific save to force the corner, and he was decisive. He came to claim, and his teammates are saying that he was nudged as he came. Let's see if there was contact. It's just him, isn't it? And he just gets it wrong. He clatters into Romain Saiss, but it's just a misjudged punch from the goalkeeper. He's overshot, he's gone too far, and he ends up punching it backwards into his own net. It's, I'm afraid to say, a horrible bit of goalkeeping from Syed Hosseini. A real misjudgment, no notion of a foul from Saiss. The referee called it absolutely spot on. And a tight game has pivoted on a horrible moment for a keeper. Funnily enough, they took the lead in the first round of games through an Algarafa own goal. The old saying about you want the ground to open up and swallow you, at least now in the days of VAR, that little slither of hope that you need. Maybe the VAR will find something and save me. But no chance. Springing the step now for Al Sadd, well, particularly for Mohamed Kamara, who stood up, well, one-man press. The best use of your physical resources, I don't think, to chase 50 yards around the pitch, but maybe it could force a mistake. Certainly livened up the home supporters as well. That unlikely goal. It's a good tackle. Roosberg. Smashed downfield by Otavio. Well, it's good sometimes, isn't it, to come and be decisive as the goalkeeper. Almost smiled, the Al Sadd coach. Free kick for that was a foul by Romain Saiss. Now the whistles from the home supporters in Doha. Esteghlal trying to get something back before the half-time break. I think we'll be adding on a fair bit of time for the two injuries. And handball is the decision given against Saman Fala. Again, sympathy for the coach. Can't imagine, unless he ordered his goalkeeper to be more decisive. He's been nagging him all week to go and punch more crosses. Maybe it is the coach's fault, who knows. Afif around the corner, collected by Ndong. Paper on the pitch really isn't helping. Interception by Saiz. Afif was... he's gone down. I was about to say caught. The referee, though, again, right on the spot. Didn't see that was a foul. The ball goes into the penalty area. Retrieved by Ndong. Moved quickly by Esteghlal. Like an accomplished team. Hard to fathom how badly they're doing in the Iran Pro League. 5 minutes being added on at the end of the first half. Rezavan back around the corner to Masharipov, then to Gustavo Blanco and Ndong. Jalili did really well, a little drop of the shoulder, but then he scuffed his cross entirely. Good defending. He get rebuffed by Farah. Masharipov has now popped up on the left side. Change direction so easily, and a lovely pass as well to find Merdad. Got some threat. Esteghlal. Now it goes wide. Second, I was worried there at the other end for Barsham, but in the end he decided to leave it, and Al Yazidi just turned it behind. The away supporters appeal for a handball. Al Yazidi settle for a corner. Which Abul Fazl Jalili will take. Now the pushing and shoving is over for now. And Jalili puts it into the penalty area, and the header was won. It was a good one, and it needed a decent save. Find ourselves waiting on the VAR again. It was Salimi. So he's found some room, hasn't he? And there's an after the event collision. The Uribe. Depends how you view those. Foot on foot after a player's had a shot. You get a penalty. Head on head, we give the players a little bit more leeway. But there's a Uribe when you wouldn't do that with your head, surely would you? That is a foul. Hasn't given many. Arash Rezavan. Contact with the ball, and he brings down Afif. There was a tiny bit of contact. Ndong. Rides the challenge, and oh, he almost managed to play the ball. Credit though to Al Yazidi. Spotted where the danger was. And Sham forced to play quickly long. The header from Fala. Is Afif. Runs across the... There's no foul for that either. He was playing for it. He ran across the path of his opponent. Ramin went down, but he's okay. Opportunity now for Medad. For Esteghlal, comes to nothing. The 5 minutes has elapsed, and that's the end of an eventful first half. Not sparkling in terms of creative play from the two sets of players, so the decisive moment was from that man, Syed Hosseini, the goalkeeper for Esteghlal, who punched the ball into his own net after a game that had otherwise been marred by a couple of injuries. Intriguing first half. The whole of the second half is live, and that will be coming next. The half-time score is Al Sadd 1, Esteghlal 0.